Welcome to AgileTest. Today we will walk you through the process of configuring the app for both company-managed and team-managed projects. Note that this guide follows the Jira Scrum template for the demonstration purpose. For Jira admins, the first time you set up AgileTest for a company-managed project, click the Configure Now button to set everything up. You will be redirected to the Test Strategies tab. This page highlights AgileTest's main 3 testing strategies. Firstly, test script involves a set of instructions for testing. It is useful to create test runs, execute tests quickly, and generate reports directly in this feature. Secondly, test session supports exploratory testing and session management, allowing for ad hoc tests and note-taking without predefined instructions. And thirdly, test management is designed for comprehensive test case management with features like requirements, test cases, test plans, test executions, and many more. These 3 testing strategies are by default enabled with turned on active status. You can toggle the active button to include these features according to your preference. Then select the button Save and Next to save any changes made on this page. To elaborate, auto configuration is for the Jira admins who do not have specific issue types for testing and prefer to use the AgileTest default settings in the setup process. And manual configuration can be used by both Jira and project admins to define and map the issue types with additional steps and require more flexibility when it comes to configuration. With that being said, the key difference between a company-managed project and a team-managed project is that a company-managed project can be configured both manually and automatically. However, a team-managed project can only be configured manually due to Jira settings. Now, moving back to auto configuration, by choosing the Auto Configure Issue Types button, AgileTest will automatically create 5 issue types: test script, test session, test case, test plan, test execution, and map them to their respective fields. Once the mapping is successful, users are directed to the Requirement and Defect tab. This page displays settings for AgileTest features, Requirement and Defect. Requirement is a specific criteria or a set of conditions that a test case must meet. By default, the issue type Task is mapped with Requirement. You can change this setting by dragging an available issue, for example, Story, onto the Requirement column. This means that you can create new issues, Task and Story, and manage them both directly in the Requirement feature. On the other hand, Defect refers to an error or a flaw in the software that causes a test case to behave incorrectly. And by default, Defect is mapped with a bug issue type, and its issue type can be configured with the available ones as well. On this screen, you can also configure Requirement and Defect issue link type. Their link type are automatically linked with AgileTest, depicting requirement and defect relations with test case. By default, requirement and defect link direction are set as inward. The option inward defines the direction between them, as requirement is tested by a test case and defect is caused by a test case. Additionally, by default, a defect is linked with test execution. Users can create new and manage defects directly within the test execution feature. Remember to select the button Save and Finish to save the changes you make besides our default settings. Now that we've walked through the auto configuration of a company-managed project, let's move on to the manual configuration of a team-managed project. AgileTest provides icons that you can use. Select Download button to save our issue type icons to your local folder. In case using AgileTest issue types, select the Project Configurations link to redirect to your project settings. This issue type settings page displays the available issue types that can be mapped and their related information. 5 of the AgileTest issue types can be created are test script, test session, test case, test plan, and finally, test execution. Then, map the created ones with their respective fields in issue type mapping. After mapping the issue type successfully, you can refer to the Requirement and Defect section in the earlier part of the video. In today's video, you have learned both manual and auto configuration for Jira projects. Thank you for watching. You can check out the detailed user guide link for today's content in the description below.